Brenda Irving, along with four-time world champion Kurt Browning and Olympic medalist Tracy Wilson. Well, we're getting set for the final flight of women in the short program, and all eyes are going to be on Canadian Joanie Rochette, and she's going to need a lot better performance in her short than she had in her first outing of the season.
Yes, she only placed third at her other Grand Prix championship, and this puts her into a situation here where she needs to be first or second with a certain score, so it gets complicated. We won't go there, but for her, it's an interesting journey to go from a girl 4 years ago who didn't really have that confidence to now she's top 3 in the world, and the Olympics are in her home country. No pressure, girl. So it's really going to be interesting for her.
Akiko Suzuki, she won maybe a surprise victory at her first outing of the season, and Tracy, you love her.
She is, of all the Japanese skaters, and there are many, incredible depth in that country in lady skating. She is my favorite this year. Remember, she returned to competition last year after a 2-year absence, fighting a very serious eating disorder, anorexia. And she talked about the fact that her family and friends had tried to convince her to give up skating. They said, your life is more important, but she knew that the return to skating could save her life. And that's how she skates when she's out there. She said numerous fans write to her and say they were inspired by her story. She says that gives her energy and strength, and you see that joy. She is so happy to be out on competition ice.
Well, she has a great chance to make it to the Grand Prix final. Because of that first place victory at the start of the season, she just needs to finish in the top 4 here at Skate Canada. Now, there are 3 positions already determined of the 6 to the Grand Prix final for women, and then you take a look at what's happening. Ashley Wagner with the inside track right now. For Joanie Rochette, she needs to guarantee her a spot in the final to finish first here at HomeSense Skate Canada International.
Emily Lacoste.
Delson, Quebec's Emily Lacoste was third at the Canadian Championships in January, and Kurt and Tracy, that result put her back on the international stage after a 2-year absence. And in her very first senior Grand Prix event, the Cup of Russia, she finished 7th.
And she's looked strong here on practice. Looks like a very well-trained athlete. For her short program, she will skate to a tunnel, and her big goal here, Kurt, is to go clean.
She has good jumping technique, so that goal is within her grasp. One of her best attributes, in my opinion, her power.
In this performance. Combination triple loop, double loop. To her triple flip. Good effort, just stepping out of the landing there.
There are 2 spots for women on the Canadian Olympic figure skating team. Emily probably fighting with the woman we're going to see next, Cynthia Phaneuf, for that final spot. One assumes that Joanie Rochette, reigning world silver medalist, will take the other. And that was a great performance by Emily Lacoste and would produce a season best score of 55.10. The next skater up was Quebec's Cynthia Phaneuf, the reigning Canadian silver medalist, and one of her goals this season was to perform a clean short program. That did not happen in her first Grand Prix event of the season, and she wound up finishing 6th at the Grand Prix of Japan.
Well, this is a beautiful short program, Debussy's La Nocturne, choreographed by David Wilson. You talked about her goal being a clean short program, and the key for Cynthia, the triple jumps, particularly the triple Lutz. Opening here with her double axel.
Going to be interesting. Disappointing, what we call in the sport a flip out, when you land on the edge but can't hold it and your body continues around. She decided to do the double toe anyways, and it becomes a math problem when you start adding elements in.
Well, you cannot do a turn between jumps in a short program, or the second jump is negated, so the double toe will not count. The triple toe there she did, though, well executed, and she'll get extra marks for GOE. Short program was just over 47 coming in here. She'll beat that with this short program.
And her score would be 55.58, so Tracy 8 points higher than her score from the Grand Prix of Japan. We are back at the Kitchener Auditorium for Championship Figure Skating on CBC, presented by Artistry. And the final flight of women in this short program, they are now warming up, and there is the reigning world silver medalist, Joannie Rochette. But right now, let's look back at one of the skaters from the previous flight, a 16-year-old Mirai Nagasu, who had the best short program this season at the Cup of China, but she had a disappointing free program, wound up finishing off the podium and in 5th place. Making the Grand Prix final now, Curtin Tracy, almost an impossibility for her, but if she skates her best, doesn't falter, and other skaters do have problems, she could still earn that trip.
And she will skate to music from the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack, and this choreographed by Laurie Nickel, who is ringside watching this performance.
Triple Lutz, double toe loop to start off. You can't skate a clean program if you don't get the first one done. She'll step into her triple flip now. Very nice looking jump from the couch, but if you're on the judge's bench, you'll be looking at that edge on which she took off before she put the toe pick in.
Appeared to be on the wrong edge.
She did,
which
but
is a slight deduction.
What appears to me is that that girl's been growing. If you watch figure skating, you'll see that Mira is definitely taller and sure looks great in the spiral sequence.
And it's that growth spurt that almost caused her to leave the sport. She got a lot of injuries, was kind of down and wondered if she should retire. Retire at 16.
Well, she was a phenom as a very, very young girl, and I think sometimes when you get everything so quickly and then your body changes, it's just tough to keep up.
And my favorite move, her layback.
Wow.
Look at these positions, the detail, the speed. Absolutely exquisite. You're right, Kurt. When skaters are young, often it's called skating stupid. You just don't even think about what you're doing. You just go on automatic. And she's really had to dig deep and relearn her jumping technique. And I think she's coming along really nicely. One of the skaters we'll see fight for one of those spots on the U.S. Olympic team.
Well, sometimes you see them go up in the air and they land it. Oh, that's a nice move. I like that. This whole program is quite charming. But I think that we must remember that it is so hard to train, to deal with injuries and skate problems, and then get on the plane and go somewhere and have the world watch you, and then lay it down with the TV lights on. And it's sometimes we do forget just how much pressure is really involved. And how good it feels when it goes well.
Well, that performance would earn her a score of 56.34. That would be 6 points lower than her Cup of China short program score. And at this point in the competition, just 1 point separating Mirai Nagasu, Cynthia Phaneuf, and Emily Lacoste. Well, here is the final flight of skaters. We see Joanne Rochette of Canada in the last position. Did the two of you enjoy skating last?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, sometimes though you have too long to wait though, and it's very difficult. You'll see the skaters, especially in the last position, retying their skates, and so the trick is for her to go back and use that time wisely she's got to kind of sit down, relax, and then get herself pumped up again to come out to compete. But they say, save for the best for last, so that's how you have to take it on.
Yep. You have to learn how to skate in that position, and doing shows is one way, because you have to wait and you don't have the long warm-up, and it's a really great place to learn how to deal with different situations and can help you compete.
I said a little bit earlier that some people were surprised that Akiko Suzuki won her very first Grand Prix event. It'll be interesting to see if she can maintain some consistency here, because of course to make that Japanese team very important to make it through to the Grand Prix final. Well, here is Sarah Hankin of Germany. She was 8th at Skate America and met her country's Olympic qualifying criteria. So we should be seeing her in Vancouver in February.
Well, she was 7th at the Junior World Championships just last year. She's only 16 years of age. And for her short program, she skates to Romeo and Juliet.
I know a couple Olympic champions that were only 16. big plan for this short program. Huge combination if she can hit it. One triple toe and another. Oh, a little hand down, but not bad. Triple combination.
Her solo triple jump out of footwork is an easier variety. Triple Salchow. Couple points lower degree of difficulty than the triple Lutz. Final jumping pass, double axel. Nice power. I like the way she attacked that jump.
She is relatively tall for a female skater, about the same height as Cynthia Phaneuf, and that growth spurt meant she had lost a couple of her big jumps. Her coach says he expects her to get them back.
Coaches always do, don't they?
They have to be optimistic.
And it's so important to be patient because it's such a difficult time for the skaters when they lose their rhythm. What I'm loving about this performance is her enjoyment of it. After Skate America, she went to Toronto to train in between and just drove the hour west to Kitchener.
Charming.
From Germany, Sarah Hecken.
We will have the scores for Sarah Hecken of Germany when we return to the Kitchener Auditorium. Hey, well, at Skate America, Sarah Hecken's very first Grand Prix event of the season, she finished the short program in 12th and dead last. So I'm sure she's going to have a much better reaction when she sees these scores here at Skate Canada.
Oh, she deserves it, but what's great is the lesson she's teaching everyone at home if they're paying attention. We get so fixated, skaters and coaches, on the elements and the completion of the jumps and the points that we forget that we're also trying to show off our talents. This girl showed off her joy of skating so much that everything else was elevated.
45.50, a new season best.
Well, she has a new season best score,
Sarah is currently in
45.50, and that moves her into 5th place for the moment. Mariah Nagus, who's still with the lead, Cynthia Phaneuf of Canada in 2nd, and Amelie Lacoste in 3rd place.
There's still a little bit of refinement that needs to go detail, address to the choreography of that program, but a good start to Sarah Skate Canada.
Well, Alyssa Cisney is the reigning U.S. Women's Champion, and this is the 5th competition of the season for the 22-year-old, and that's a very competitive and busy summer-fall schedule. Her coaches felt that she was struggling with her programs in competition, so they had her compete in 3 before the Grand Prix season even started. She was 4th at her first event, the Cup of Russia.
Skating to music from Mask of Zorro, choreographed by David Wilson.
Beautiful skater, good look at her spins, some of the best in the world, but this is important right now, the triple Lutz. Double toe, and this is the jump that can get in her way. Now that it's out of the way, maybe she can relax and enjoy the rest of the program.
Not just yet. There's one more key element to come for Alyssa.
You're right. Triple flip. Oh, that was a fight. Gutsy fight.
You talked about her spins also. You draw attention here to her spirals, her lovely extensions, incredibly flexible, and she takes full advantage of it. Now she can relax. And now we get to see her exquisite spins.
The reigning U.S. women's champion, and she needs to win Skate Canada to guarantee her a spot in that Grand Prix final. A second-place finish would leave her in a tie-break situation. Well, Alyssa Cisney just got off the ice, but what we thought was a wonderful short program. We'll see what the judges have to say about it in a few minutes.
And they'll be looking at her triple jumps. She often doesn't go down, but under rotates. Kurt, that looked clean to me. Triple Lutz, double toe.
She was at the far end of the ice, but I agree. Beautiful jumps, beautiful landing, use of her knees, 1, 2, 3, and that probably will be clean as well, accentuating the landing, showing, you know, change of position. Really a top quality skate. I can't see that it wouldn't be.
And once she was through the triple jumps, as you mentioned, one of the best spinners in the world. And boy, a smile like that doesn't help with the second mark, eh, Kurt?
Doesn't get in the way.
The score to beat is 56.34, and she's got that
Huge.
a comfortable lead.
Her score, the Cup of Russia, 57.6.
So many times we've seen her disappointed in the kiss and cry. She's a great girl. This is awesome for her. Now she needs to stay there. She wants to see the Grand Prix final tomorrow. Very exciting.
Huge.
This is getting good.
A first place finish, that would guarantee her a trip to Tokyo in December. Second place, a little iffy if she would make it. There's a look at the top three to this point. And a lot of those women would love to be in the position that Akiko Suzuki is right now, because she can finish as low as fourth here at Skate Canada and still make it to the final, all thanks to the fact that she won the Cup of China.
At that competition, she was fourth in the short program with 59 points. Remember, Alyssa just had 63. Skating to music from the River Dance.
Still the short program. It's not an exhibition. The judges will kill you if you do not do the jumps. Triplets, really big. Double toe, not as big, but the quality is still there. And speaking of quality, Tracy, I agree with you. This girl has quality everywhere, in her stroking, in her expression, in her movement, in her speed. Oh, and today not in her triple flip. That's been a shoe-in jump in practice all week.
She was fourth at the 2009 Japanese National Championships, just narrowly missed a trip to the Worlds. Japan is a country so deep in talent, it's unbelievable.
Well, Miki Ando, her teammate, has already made the Grand Prix final. Mao Asada has not.
Great use of the music. And in practice, Tracy and I were sitting together just marveling about how free her upper body is, how confident her poise is throughout this step sequence.
And speed with ease, and that's because of her deep knee bends, and she really rides the curves of the edges, and that helps to create momentum and speed. Her free program is quite a treat. You'll see it later in the weekend. She had a choreograph by Shaylin Bourne. When she met up with Shaylin, she says, how about if we skate to the river dance? Shaylin said, oh, how about not? So she's got something else for the free. Akiko skating to the river dance here. A big Shaylin Bourne fan.
Well, she said earlier in the season that she feels her skating is now at a level to compete with the best in the world, and she has certainly shown that so far in this 2009-2010 season. We'll have her scores when we return. We're looking at the kiss and cry. Akiko Suzuki waiting for her scores, but while we're doing that, let's go backstage to Karen Larson with the leader right now in the women's short.
Thanks, Brenda. Alyssa, in baseball terms, you knocked that one out of the park.
Thank you. It was a good program for me, and I was very happy with how I skated here.
Your reaction in the kiss and cry, there was a little bit of surprise as well, I'd say. Were you surprised at those great marks?
I wasn't sure what to expect really with the marks. I was happy with my skate, and I was hoping that the marks would reflect it, and they did.
You're one of many women vying for the Grand Prix final here, so do you think this puts you in good stead heading into the free program?
This puts me in a good spot heading into the free program, and I'm just going to go out and skate my best again tomorrow.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Brenda?
Thanks for that, Karen. A very happy Alyssa Cisney, and who can blame her?
Akiko a little subdued with that performance. I think the mistake on the flip, she knew it was a costly one, and she knew, as you said, Kurt, she'd been landing that jump beautifully all week in practice.
Well, it's turning into a great event here at the ladies' event,
is.
and what's happened is that sometimes a step out on one jump, especially when the rest of the program is such high quality as hers, doesn't matter. Today, it could make a difference. Put you in the first flight instead of the last flight for the long. Big difference there.
Well, her season's best score in the short is around 59.5 points, and the score today will be a little bit lower than that, 53.10.
A number of jumping errors on the Lutz toe. She got a wrong edge, so that was a negative GOE. Again, the step out on the flip, and then lost a level on her spiral sequence.
So what that means is Alyssa Cisney remains in first, Mirai Nagasu in second, Cynthia Phaneuf in third, and Emily Lacoste of Canada as well in fourth position. Caroline Zhang won the bronze medal at the 2009 U.S. Championships, but with only 2 spots available to the World Championships, as she didn't go to the Worlds in Los Angeles.
Instead, she went to the Junior World Championships and finished 2nd. She has a bit of an unorthodox jumping style. Let's take a look at her opening combination. Will it be triple, triple? Triple flip, triple toe. What a fighter.
That second triple was just a blur. She spun so fast. Keep the momentum going. There will be some deductions on that combination, I'm almost positive, as she heads into the triple loop. Not much flow, not much height, but clean landing.
Not a lot of speed into this flying spin. Very tight position. She rotates quickly. Fighting on the takeoff and the landing, but landing it nonetheless at double axel.
Well, we've seen some fantastic double axels in this competition already. Our Canadian skaters, Amelie and Cynthia, to come to mind. That double axel didn't carry the speed across the ice that the judges are looking for, and that trend seems to be continuing into the spiral sequence.
And her spiral position is stunning. I can't believe she wouldn't fly into it.
Well, she said after the Grand Prix of France that she had to focus on getting her jumps more consistent and improve that speed.
She was right.
One thing she doesn't have to improve, though, is her final spin. It usually gets the highest marks possible for the technical difficulty and the quality. Watch her head touch the back of her leg, and up she goes. It's called the Pearl and unique to her.
Well, she's now 16 at 13-1. The World Junior title, Caroline Zhang of the United States.
And she is such a contradiction, Kurt. Moments of brilliant, sensational style, and a little bit of wandering lack of speed in between.
I agree.
Well, welcome back to Kitchener, Ontario, and Championship Figure Skating on CBC, presented by Artistry. You're looking at some replays from Caroline Zhang of the United States.
Sorry, Brenda, is the torque on the takeoff of her triple jumps. It's amazing how she gets up in the air, but she does.
With the triple flip that you just saw, that was the loop. The first jump you saw was the flip. She came to me this summer and said, "Do you have any, opinions on my skating?" I said, "That flip, girl, has got to be fixed." She goes down in a double knee bend, up and down, and she uses the torque of the twist of the body to jump. And we talked about it for about 15 minutes. It's a tough thing to change, like the swing of a golfer or your handwriting or your voice. It's just so tough.
And here come the scores now. She
Can't watch.
doesn't want to look.
Well, it's hard because Carolyn often takes deductions. She never gets positive grade of execution on her jumps. She's saying it's fine, could be worse.
Well, that will put her into 5th place.
And she did get downgraded on the triple-triple combination, so it was in fact triple-double.
Represents Finland, Laura Lepistu.
Well, Finland's Laura Lepisto is the reigning European champion, and the 21-year-old doesn't have the same jump menu as some of the top skaters in the world, so it's important that her programs are clean, and she wasn't able to do that earlier this season at the Grand Prix of Japan, and she wound up in 5th position.
She will skate to Imagined Oceans, composed by Carl Jenkins.
Right now she's imagining her first element, which is one of the rare triple-triple attempts in the women's event. And to see one in the short program is pretty exciting. But like you said, Tracy, she needs everything because the flip and the Lutz are not in this combination, I mean in this program.
Lots of speed. Here it comes, triple, triple. And she missed the first jump. Tried to go for the second triple.
The audience a little confused, but she essentially still completed the combination, turning the first triple into a double, but putting the hand down on the landing of the second. It will come down to quality.
Well, we've talked about the fact, Kurt, that this has been such a well-skated event. The best ladies short program this Grand Prix season. So a mistake on any jump is crucial. Laura's also had a little bit of problems with some of her spins. So a very strong technical skater. She gets effortless speed across the ice, but a number of bobbles today. We'll see how that affects the outcome.
We are back with the women's short program here at HomeSense Skate Canada International. You're looking at replays from the performance of Laura Lepisto of Finland.
Yeah, you saw that her shoulders were really high. There was no momentum and bounce and rhythm into that, so she did double it. That will be a huge deduction.
And here on the layback spin, you can see where her blade is centered on the ice, and then it goes, oops, it starts to travel across the ice, losing marks there. Spiral sequence, though, gets right into the face of the judges, almost stalks them in that,
yeah, it was kind of
element.
It was like, I dare you to give me a bad, I dare you. But there was an overall lack of quality that we've been seeing in practice from her, and like you say, it's such a great event. We'll see if the judges picked up on it.
I like her style. I think she's really
perky,
peppy. Yes, and she has a very elegant neck, a nice presence on the ice.
And there's Joanne getting ready for her short program skate.
55.74.
Well, it looks like Alyssa Cisney will remain in the driver's seat here with one skater left to go. That will put that score, will put Laura Lepisto into third place. Mirai Nagasu, also of the United States, is in second. So the Americans sitting 1-2 right now. Cynthia Phaneuf in fourth, and Emily Lacoste in fifth position. Well, Joanie Rochette finished third at her first Grand Prix event of the season, the Cup of China, and the 23-year-old described it, Curtin Tracy, as a disappointing start to her season. And it was the short program which really let her down.
Program choreographed by Shaylin Bourne, skating to La Comparsita.
With authority.
Standing ovation at the Kitchener Auditorium for Joanie Rochette.
From Canada, Joanie Rochette.
She needs to be first to be sure of a spot in the Grand Prix final. She's well on her way after that performance.
And I saw conviction in that performance, from the landings, the attack on the landings, to the attack of the choreography, to the way she finished, like absolute conviction.
Nothing happened by accident, and that's what we got used to seeing of Joanie Rochette last season, and that's what was missing at the start of this season, and a well-deserved hug from Coach Manon.
There's an overall sensation from the judges that you give the judges when you have total control all the way through the program, when not one little thing, not a landing, not an exit from a spin, not a move goes out of place. The triple flip timing on the takeoff after a difficult entry coming down the ice was perfect. Exquisite.
Beautifully timed to the music, and here's a look at her footwork, intricate choreography, and keeping the character of the dance throughout. It wasn't just pretty skating to pretty music. A wonderful theme here, twisting and turning, and complex. body movements, arms, everything connected.
Yeah, we didn't quite get to stay on her long enough. That was fun, but there was a beautiful knee bend and a toe drag, and it was just those simple little moves with such determination and fulfillment. I'm kind of buzzed right now.
Well, Joanne's first time out this year occurred in the short program, which was, for her, a disaster. She received a 52. Her personal best last year at Worlds was 67.
The score to beat here is 63.52, and wow, look at that!
And what an achievement, hitting the 70. She has got the second highest score. Only Una Kim has scored better this year.
Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the ladies short program competition. Ladies and gentlemen, there will now
So the standings after this short program here in the women's competition, Joanne Rochette with a comfortable 6-point lead over Alyssa Cisney. Mirai Nagasu is in third place, Laura Lepisto in fourth, Cynthia Phaneuf of Canada, followed by Emily Lacoste in fifth and sixth position.
Thanks a lot, Brenda. Yes, and is still smiling, of course. You know, this short program was a bit of an Achilles heel in the first Grand Prix, but you come into Skate Canada and you make a statement on the ice today.
Well, I was really proud of myself because especially after China, it was kind of tough to do this short program again, but I took it one element at a time, and I still feel I can get more, but hey, 70, it's my personal best ever. I'm so happy about it, and that's the kind of program I needed to be competitive with the world, but I still lost 2 levels and a few wobbles here and there, so I know I can do even better, so I'm feeling really good right now.
A little bit of housekeeping in front of you in the short. Listen, I'm going to challenge you because in our interview yesterday, you told me that you weren't really concerned about making the Grand Prix final. You're heading into the free program in first place. Perhaps it is in reach for you now. Are you thinking about the Grand Prix final at all now?
To be honest, the whole season is about the Olympics, so we'll take it one event at a time. I'm going to think about my long program tomorrow, and then with the result, we'll see. Of course, I would like to make the trip over there. It's the goal every year to qualify for the final. It's prestigious, but I mean, I want to take the long program first, one day at a time.
Having this one under your belt, what kind of confidence do you gain heading into the free?
You know, every competition, I learn more about myself, I learn more about the competition. But of course, I like the free program. I'm usually more relaxed for it. But today, I was able to feel a lot more relaxed, and I think the mental training we've done during the past 2 weeks after China really helped me to put me back on track, thinking about myself. And when I got out there tonight, I was feeling great.
Congratulations on today, Joanne, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Brenda?
Thanks, Karen. 70. That's a big deal in women's figure skating for a short program.
Well, Una Kim has hit 76 twice. The next highest, I think, is at 62. So Joanne has clearly made a statement in 70. She is in the big time.
I think there were some people that were wondering after that performance earlier in the season, oh no, it isn't the confident Joanne. She's reverting back to maybe what we saw a few years earlier.
You're probably right, but this is a tough sport, and the edges and the ice changes, and there's all sorts of things that can easily go wrong. If it was easy, everyone would do it. You're allowed a bad day. The world champions in pairs twice in a row stepped on the ice earlier this year and had a devastatingly bad day. It can happen to anybody.
It can, and it's necessary. It's a necessary evil because, you know, somewhere it happens, and in a whole season, it's important that you just don't get on such a wave that you can't help but take things for granted. So these moments, if you use them as a teaching tool, then you refocus and you do what Joanne did and Robin and Aliona in the pairs did. You kind of go back and you refocus and you come out fighting and take it up a notch on top of it.
Another woman that leaves this Kitchener Auditorium happy is Alyssa Cisney.
Well, the U.S. ladies champion, as often as I said, sat in the kiss and cry and just basically cried. And we all want for her because the quality of her skating is so great. And then the jumps come along, and of course she falters. Today you didn't see that, so maybe there's some new fight in her. And I'm excited for Emily Lacoste and Cynthia Phaneuf, who are only a simple double axel away from third place at Skate Canada. So that's exciting for Canadian fans.
Well, heading into this competition, we knew 3 of the 6 women who would be heading off to that Grand Prix Prix final. Let's take a look at that board once again. We saw it a little bit earlier. Miki Ando's one of them, Yuna Kim of Korea, and then Leonova of Russia, which maybe some people found a bit of a surprise, Alyona Leonova. There we see the other contenders for those spots. Again, Joanie Rochette, to guarantee that she makes it through, she has to finish in first place here at Skate Canada. Akiko Suzuki, though, can afford to finish anywhere from first to fourth.
Well, it's going to come down to the free skate. What can we say? And it's a complex number of equations. You got to be good at math. In the end, we'll keep you posted. It's close. There's a lot on the line, and I'm just so impressed by the quality of this ladies' short program. They saved their best for the last Grand Prix and delivered it here at Skate Canada.
Well, the math for Joanie Rochette, very good here so far after that short program. We'll be back with more in a moment. Well, a lot of eyes have been on this man, Patrick Chan, the reigning world silver medalist. This will be his first competition of the season here at Skate Canada. He had an injury earlier in the year, missed his first Grand Prix event. Certainly a lot of pressure on Patrick Chan to perform in what could be his first and last international competition before the Olympic Games. And he had a chance to sit down and speak with our Karen Larson. Karen?
I think I feel more confident, and I feel like superhuman coming back from an injury because I think it was really a great thing that happened. Even though it was bad initially, I was very happy to have that injury in a weird way because I had met great people like Dr. Gallia, who did the procedure, and Dr. Gallia connected me to do another guy, and that guy connected me to another person. So I've had a great entourage with me. Guys who have worked with high-level athletes, Tiger Woods, football players, even like Alex Rodriguez from the Yankees. So I've had a great amount of people around. It's just, and I have that connection now to other athletes. So if I ever need someone to talk to, I can.
Well, I hear they're calling it Skate Canada.
Anyway, this evening at Midnight Local, you can tune into the full CBC network for coverage of the men's short program and dance compulsories competition. And then tomorrow, the original dance and the Paris free performances can be seen tomorrow on CBC. The dance begins live on Bold at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with full network coverage featuring the dance and the Paris event starting at 1 Eastern. That is 10 a.m. Pacific time. Well, here in Kitchener today, Alyona Savchenko, Robin Zokovi found themselves in the driver's seat in the Paris competition. Will they be able to hold on in the free skate tomorrow? And the head of the class in the women's competition, Canada's Joanie Rochette. They will skate tomorrow evening at the Kitchener Auditorium. I'm Brenda Irving for Tracy Wilson, Kurt Browning, Karen Larson, and the rest of the crew here in Kitchener. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.